Dr. Anthony Fauci telling CNN, quote, unless players are essentially in a bubble, insulated from the community, and they are tested nearly every day, it would be very hard to see how football is able to be played this fall. If there is a second wave, which is certainly a possibility and which would be complicated by the predictable flu season, football may not happen this year. The NBA plans to resume play in Orlando next month in a bubble, but some players still have many concerns tonight. And with us tonight, SportsCorp co-founder Marc Ganis. Marc, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you, Scott.
To the NFL first, and the league is responding to what Dr. Fauci had to say. They say, quote, this is from the chief medical officer, Alan Sills. Make no mistake, this is no easy task. We will make adjustments as necessary to meet the public health environment as we prepare to play the 2020 season. Marc, what's your reaction to this news tonight? Do you think everybody in the NFL league office wants to play the season?
Absolutely. Everybody in the league office wants to play. The team owners want to play. The players want to play. The NFL Players Association has been completely in lockstep with the NFL. They've been working hand in glove for months. They've brought in experts from around the country, from around the world, the CDC, the White House Task Force, and they've put together a set of protocols that are incredibly detailed and include testing every day, a saliva test, which they expect will be in place, the PCR test every 3 days. They've got new equipment that they're developing with some of their equipment companies for face shields and things of that nature. So they are working on this and have protocols and understand what the situation is. It's really a bit disappointing to hear Dr. Fauci speak this way for something that's 3 months in the future. There's a lot more we're going to learn between now and September, just as we've learned a lot in the last 3 months since the virus took root in the country.
Do you think, though, that the Fauci comments will change some minds? I mean, this is the nation's top infectious disease doctor, after all.
You know, it's also the guy who told us early on that we shouldn't wear masks. So things have evolved over time. The medicine, as the data has evolved, the medical advice has evolved. And we're at a point now where you make the best decisions with the information you have and you expect, and you adjust as you get better information. The key here is that they have the best people working with the NFL and the NFL Players Association, and the protocols are incredibly strict. I'm not sure there are going to be any employers in the country that have protocols as strict as the NFL has already in place.
Well, the NBA has some strict protocols, too. And on that, we're going to welcome in Grant Hill, the NBA Hall of Famer, now the co-owner of the Atlanta Hawks. Looks like he's joining us from his automobile this evening. Grant, it's good to have you back on the program.
Hey, I'm glad to be back. Thanks for having me.
We're obviously started off talking about the NFL, but as I said, the NBA has a number of issues, it seems, as well. 113 pages of new rules, according to the New York Times, regarding what the season would be like down in the bubble of Orlando. What's your general sense as to whether players really want to make this season happen?
Well, I think by and large, I think a majority of the players certainly want to come back. They want to play. I think they understand, the opportunity here, and certainly sports can be something that can help as we get through some challenging times. I know I've talked to a number of guys, and by and large, basketball players want to play. I think obviously right now trying to digest and process some of these guidelines and some of these protocols, this is obviously going to be unusual. This is going to be something that takes a minute to really fully understand the depth of it and what you're committing to. So I think that's part of the reservation that exists right now, and understandably so. But, this is not going to be easy for the NBA, for the players, for coaches, for training staffs, for all that are involved in the traveling party. And I think it's important that they have this sort of open dialogue to get to a point where everyone is comfortable with what the plan is moving forward.
Has your perspective, Grant, changed moving from the court to the ownership suite, so to speak? Do you see things differently because of the position you're now in?
That's a great question. I mean, I do see things differently. I have a greater respect and appreciation for all the moving parts that work together to put this league, to have this league, run and be a great success. I also have a tremendous amount of respect in terms of the difficult decisions that are made sometimes on a daily basis in a normal pre-COVID environment, which have only been sort of magnified now these last 3 months. But I'm still a player. I still think like a player. I think within our, governors and certainly within our organization with the Atlanta Hawks, I can offer the perspective player. But I do. I think as a player, sometimes you just focus in on what you need to do on the court and what you can bring to the table along with your teammates. Now you get a chance to see, the business side and certainly what you can bring from a strategic vision standpoint, resources, all that leadership necessary to run and operate an organization. So, yes, I have a whole new respect for the work that goes on from a governor's standpoint.
I bet. And Marc, I mean, the inner workings of these leagues as well as anybody. It really is a delicate balance that has to be played here. We're talking about player safety. And let's be honest, there was a time where the NFL was criticized for not caring enough about the safety of its players. Is it opening up itself to those sort of arguments once again?
It's one of the best things that has happened from this whole process, Scott, is to watch the NFL, the NFL Players Association, and their medical experts work so closely together. This is one of the byproducts of this COVID disaster that we've had here in the country, to watch these two groups that have previously actually had problems with each other. We can be frank about that. And they're working absolutely together with each other. And they're not just focused on the players and the coaches. They're also focused on the players' families, who they go home to, protocols if they have people at home who are older or have comorbidities. They're really focused on the entire ecosystem of the NFL and the people that are a part of it, the players very especially.